20. Let's start with the biggest lie ever told about Michael Jackson, that he bleached his skin to become white. For years, tabloids screamed it. People believed it. Michael told Oprah in 1993,
I have a skin disorder that destroys the pigmentation of the skin. Is something that I cannot help.
Nobody believed him. They called him a liar. They said he hated being black. Then, June 25, 2009, Michael dies. The autopsy becomes public. And there it is in official medical records. Vitiligo, an autoimmune disorder affecting only 0.5 to 1% of the world's population, where melanin-producing cells malfunction, creating irregular white patches across the skin. His dermatologist, Dr. Arnold Klein, confirmed his vitiligo was bad.
It's an autoimmune disease, and lupus is an autoimmune disease, and they sometimes go together because you make antibodies against your pigment cells.
Did Michael have it?
Absolutely. We biopsy.
What causes it?
You're caused by your immune system, and your immune system destroying your pigment cells.
Do black people have it more than white people?
No, but it's just more visible on black people.
It began to get a speckled look over his body all over, but especially on his face and hands, which is hard to treat. He was telling the truth the entire time, and the world called him a freak for a disease he couldn't control. 19. Now here's the connection that nobody talks about. The iconic white sequined glove, the one he wore for 25 years, the one that became more famous than most celebrities, it wasn't just fashion. Actress Cicely Tyson, who shared a fashion designer with Michael in the 1980s, revealed the truth at his memorial service.
Michael was beginning to develop the vitiligo, and it started on his hand, and the glove was to camouflage it. That's how that glove came into being.
The vitiligo appeared first on his hands and face, the hardest places to hide. So Michael turned a medical problem into the most iconic accessory in music history. When asked why just one glove, Michael said, "I felt that one glove was cool. Wearing two gloves seemed so ordinary." He turned his pain into art. That's genius. But before we continue, quick question. Which Michael Jackson song is your favorite? Drop it in the comments right now. I'm genuinely curious. 18. Okay, this one's gonna hurt some feelings. March 25th, 1983. Motown 25th Anniversary Special. Michael performs Billie Jean. Mid-song, he glides backward while appearing to walk forward. The crowd erupts. The moonwalk is born. Except it wasn't. The move was called the backslide and had been performed by street dancers for years. Dancer Jeffrey Daniel from the group Shalimar was doing it on Soul Train in 1980. Michael saw it and was obsessed. He hired dancer Garon Casper Candidate, who taught him the move in June 1981 during private lessons. Michael spent 2 years perfecting it before unveiling it to the world. After the Motown performance, Daniel said Michael asked him,
"How was it?" I said, "Man, it was great. It was amazing." He said, "Yeah, but it didn't come out right." I said, "Didn't come out right what?" I said, "It was great."
Think about that. The performance that changed pop culture forever, and Michael still thought it wasn't good enough. That's the mind of a perfectionist. Michael didn't invent the moonwalk, but he's the reason the world knows it. He renamed it, perfected it, and made it immortal. 17. Everyone knows about Bubbles the chimpanzee. The tabloids had a fiery day with it. Wacko Jacko and his monkey. But here's what they didn't tell you. Bubbles was just one animal in Michael's massive private zoo at Neverland Ranch. Llamas, tigers, giraffes, an elephant named Gypsy, alligators, bears, snakes. It was like a sanctuary. Then Michael died in 2009. Neverland was shut down. The zoo closed. And here's the disturbing part. Many of the animals just disappeared. His favorite elephant Gypsy? Gone. His beloved llamas Louis and Lola? Vanished. No records, no paper trail. Nobody knows where they went. It's one of the creepiest unsolved mysteries around his death. Where did they go? 16. September 10th, 2001. Madison Square Garden. Michael performs his 30th anniversary concert. The show ends around midnight. He goes back to his hotel, talks to his mother Catherine until nearly 4 a.m., then finally crashes. His alarm is set for the morning. He has a meeting scheduled at the World Trade Center. Michael's brother Jermaine later revealed, "My mother had stayed up with him all the way until 4 in the morning and he just slept. He missed his appointments, which was great." September 11th, 2001, 8:46 a.m. American Airlines Flight 11 hits the North Tower. Michael Jackson overslept. That late-night conversation with his mother saved his life. Catherine called him later that morning. "Mother, I'm okay thanks to you," Michael told her. "You kept me up." A few hours of sleep literally changed history. 15. After nearly dying on 9/11, you'd think Michael would relax. Instead, he became obsessed with health, medicine, and survival. He hired teams of doctors to visit Neverland Ranch daily, exploring new treatments and therapies that could help him heal faster and stay young longer. One of the therapies he tried was a hyperbaric oxygen chamber, a pressurized capsule delivering pure oxygen, used for burn recovery and wellness. The tabloids twisted it into wild stories, claiming he wanted to live to 150, or that he slept in it every night. It wasn't about living forever, it was about control, about finding some way to stop his body from breaking down. The tabloids mocked him for it. But here's the truth. After years of burns, surgeries, vitiligo, lupus, and constant scrutiny, Michael was terrified of aging and death. Can you blame him? 14. Speaking of health paranoia, let's talk about those surgical masks. Mid-1980s, Michael starts appearing in public wearing surgical masks. The media goes insane. He's a germaphobe. He's hiding his face. He's crazy. But the reality was way more practical. Michael's autobiography Moonwalk explains, after getting his wisdom teeth pulled, his dentist gave him a surgical mask to keep out germs. Michael realized it served multiple purposes: protecting his voice from LA smog, avoiding germs when traveling internationally, and most importantly, giving him privacy. His former tour attorney Alan Mintz explained, if you see somebody coming toward you in a surgical mask, you're alarmed. You do not embrace somebody wearing a surgical mask. It was a superb camouflage. The mask meant people couldn't see his vitiligo flare-ups, couldn't demand he smile constantly, couldn't invade his personal space. His bodyguard Matt Fittis later said, Michael always knew that a natural disaster could happen, that germs could spread globally. He couldn't afford to get sick. He had concerts, fans depending on him. He was traveling through 4 countries in one day sometimes. In 2020, when COVID-19 hit and the world started wearing masks, suddenly Michael didn't look so crazy anymore. All right, I need to know, did you wear a mask during COVID? Be honest in the comments. 13. But Michael wasn't just paranoid about health. He was inventing the future. The Smooth Criminal music video drops. Michael and his dancers lean forward at a 45-degree angle, seemingly defying gravity. The world goes crazy trying to figure out how he did it. In the video, cables and harnesses hidden from the camera. But Michael wanted to do it live, without wires in front of thousands. So he invented a solution. June 6, 1992. Michael Jackson, along with costume designers Michael Bush and Dennis Tompkins, filed U.S. patent number 5,255,452, methods and means for creating anti-gravity illusion. The shoes had a V-shaped slot in the heel that locked onto metal pegs rising from the stage floor. Michael Jackson holds an actual patent. He wasn't just a performer, he was an engineer. The patent expired in 2005, but by then the lean was already immortal. 12. Let's rewind to where it all began. Gary, Indiana, a 2-bedroom house with 9 children. Michael Jackson, age 5, joins his brothers in the Jackson 5. By age 11 years and 155 days, he becomes the youngest vocalist ever to top the Billboard Hot 100 with I Want You Back on January 31st, 1970. That record still stands today. But here's what they don't show you in the documentaries. Joe Jackson, Michael's father, would force the boys to practice music while holding a belt in his hand. If they played a wrong note, he'd hit or whip them. Joe's mindset was to keep them off the streets and away from gangs, but it came at a brutal cost.
How often would he beat you?
Too much.
Would he only use the belt? When he was beating you, did you hate him?
Yeah. Strong hate. And he didn't allow us to call him Daddy. And I wanted to call him Daddy so bad. He said, I'm not Daddy, I'm Joseph to you.
Joe also constantly ridiculed Michael's appearance, particularly his nose, calling him Big Nose. Michael also suffered from severe acne as a teenager.
Is it true that your father used to say you had a fat nose?
Yeah.
What did he say? What did he actually say?
God, your nose is big. You didn't get it from me.
From From age 5, Michael performed in smoky bars and clubs. He never had a childhood. He never had friends. He never had peace. And that childhood trauma, it would haunt him for the rest of his life. 11. Which brings us to the most misunderstood part of Michael's story, his face. People joke about Michael's plastic surgery. Late-night comedians made entire careers mocking his appearance.
I think they want to know, it is a decision on your part some way, the way you look. Where does it come from?
I think it creates itself, nature.
But experts now believe Michael suffered from body dysmorphic disorder, BDD, a psychiatric condition where someone becomes obsessed with perceived flaws in their appearance, even when those flaws are minor or don't exist at all. Over 75% of people with BDD seek plastic surgery or dermatological treatments. And after surgery, 90% are still unhappy with their appearance. It's a cycle that never ends. Think about it. Joe Jackson spent years calling Michael Big Nose. Michael had severe acne as a teen. Then add vitiligo destroying his skin, lupus causing rashes and flaking on his scalp, the Pepsi fire scarring his head. Michael admitted in his 1988 autobiography that he'd only had 2 rhinoplasties, and they weren't cosmetic. They were to help him breathe.
Never had my cheekbones done, never had my eyes done, never had my lips done and all this stuff. They just go too far. I mean, it's crazy.
How much plastic surgery have you had?
Very, very little. You can count them on 2 fingers.
You had your nose done, obviously.
Yeah, but so did a lot of people that I know.
Yeah.
But the surgeries kept happening. Some estimates say 30 procedures over 20 years. Brain scans of BDD patients show they process faces differently than normal people. They fixate on individual parts, nose, lips, a pimple, rather than seeing the whole face. No amount of surgery fixes that because the problem isn't physical, it's neurological. Michael Jackson wasn't vain. He was sick and nobody helped him. If you're enjoying this deep dive, do me a favor. Hit that subscribe button. We're about to get even more intense. 10. January 27th, 1984. Filming a Pepsi commercial. Take 6. Pyrotechnics explode early. Michael's hair catches fire. He keeps dancing. Doesn't even realize he's burning. Crew members rush the stage, smothering the flames. 2nd and 3rd degree burns to his scalp and face. From that day forward, he wore wigs for the rest of his life. His autopsy revealed he had his hairline permanently tattooed onto his forehead to maintain the illusion of natural hair. Pepsi paid him $1.5 million. Michael donated every penny to Brotman Medical Center, the hospital that treated him. They renamed their burn unit the Michael Jackson Burn Center. But here's what nobody talks about. That fire started his painkiller addiction. The burns required ongoing treatment. The pain was constant. The prescriptions kept coming. That accident in 1984 set in motion the events that would ultimately kill him 25 years later. 9. When Michael met Princess Diana at Wembley Stadium in 1988, they talked for half an hour backstage. She told him Dirty Diana was her favorite song. He laughed and said he had planned to remove it from the set list out of respect. He put it back that night just for her. 2 global icons, both trapped by fame, bonding over one song. It was one of the few moments he felt truly understood. 8. Paul McCartney gives Michael advice over dinner.
Michael said, have you got any advice, And I said, and you ought to think of getting into song publishing.
For a business, you ought to think about music publishing. It's because it's very good business. You love music. I'm into it. It does very well. It's a nice, easy business for a musician to be in.
Michael listened. Michael Jackson purchases ATV Music Publishing for $47.5 million, including publishing rights to over 200 Beatles songs. Paul McCartney was furious. He'd been trying to buy those rights himself. Their friendship ended. But Michael wasn't being malicious. He was building generational wealth. And that catalog, when Sony bought half of it in 2024, it was worth hundreds of millions. Paul gave him the idea. Michael executed it. Business is business. 7. Late 1990s. Marvel Comics files for bankruptcy. Michael Jackson wanted to buy the entire company. Why?
He wanted to be Spider-Man, to buy the rights to Spider-Man. I think he wanted to play the part of Peter Parker. He never said that, but I gathered that. When I told him I didn't think the company would sell it, he then wanted to buy Marvel. He said, well, then I'll buy Marvel. I don't know what happened. I mean, obviously he didn't buy Marvel, but he wanted to very much.
Because he wanted to produce and star in a Spider-Man movie.
Now they got Incredible Hulk coming, they got X-Men 2 coming, and they also got Spider-Man 2 coming. and this huge frenzy for superheroes. We need to jump in now.
He genuinely believed he could play Peter Parker. The deal fell through. Tobey Maguire got the role. But Michael didn't give up on superheroes. He also auditioned to play Professor X in X-Men. Imagine an alternate universe where Michael Jackson is swinging through New York as Spider-Man. The internet would have exploded. 6. Let's talk about the album that changed everything. Thriller is certified 33 times diamond by the RIAA. 33 million units sold in the United States alone. It's the first and only album in history to surpass 30x platinum. Worldwide sales over 105 million copies. 1984 Grammys. Thriller nominated in 12 categories. Michael wins 8, including Album of the Year, Record of the Year, Best Pop Vocal, Best Rock Vocal, Best R&B Vocal. Still the record for most Grammys won by any album in a single night. No album has ever come close. Not Taylor Swift, not Drake, not The Weeknd, nobody. Thriller is the undisputed greatest album of all time. 5. Michael wants to make a music video for Thriller. Not just a video, a 14-minute short film with zombies, choreography, special effects. Budget, $500,000. MTV says no, they won't play a 14-minute video. Michael doesn't ask permission. He convinces MTV to fund the video.
Michael Jackson's Thriller, the piece written by John Landis, the director, and also by Michael Jackson.
When it drops, MTV plays it twice an hour, despite breaking every rule they had.
So let me hold you tight and share up together.
But Thriller did something bigger than break MTV's rules. Before Michael, MTV barely played any black artists. They claimed their format was rock. Michael Jackson broke that barrier. Thriller was so massive, so undeniable, MTV had no choice. The doors he opened for black artists, they stayed open. He didn't just change music, he changed the culture. 4. Michael Jackson earns $825 million, breaking the record for highest earning celebrity in a single year. 2018. He makes another $400 million. He's the highest paid dead celebrity in history. His estate has made over $2 billion since 2009. Even in death, Michael Jackson is the biggest star on the planet. 3. King of Pop. Everyone knows the title, but Michael didn't give it to himself. Legendary actress Elizabeth Taylor publicly called him the King of Pop at the 1989 Soul Train Awards.
Ladies and gentlemen, the 1989 Heritage Award and Sammy Davis Jr. Award recipient, and in my estimation, the true king of pop, rock, and soul, Mr. Michael Jackson.
He never asked for the crown, but he definitely earned it. 2. July 7th, 2009. Memorial service at Staples Center, Los Angeles. 2.5 billion people worldwide tune in. That's 1/3 of planet Earth. It's the second most watched funeral in history, behind only Princess Diana. Stevie Wonder performs. Usher cries. And 11-year-old Paris Jackson takes the mic.
Daddy has been the best father you could ever imagine.
1. Here's the most insane stat that proves Michael Jackson's genius. Michael Jackson sold over 1 billion records worldwide. But here's what makes it unbelievable. He did it with only 6 solo albums released between 1979 and 2001. Off the Wall, Thriller, Bad, Dangerous, His Story, Invincible. Madonna released 14 studio albums. Elton John over 30. Michael Jackson became the best-selling artist of all time with 6. He's been inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame twice. Guinness World Records calls him the most successful entertainer of all time. He didn't just break records. He set standards nobody will ever reach again. From a 2-bedroom house in Gary, Indiana to the biggest entertainer in human history, he survived his father's abuse, survived a fire, survived 9/11, invented anti-gravity shoes, owned the Beatles, changed MTV forever, battled vitiligo, lupus, body dysmorphia, and addiction. Michael Jackson was complicated, flawed, brilliant, troubled, and tragic. But one thing is undeniable. There will never be another Michael Jackson. The King of Pop lives forever. So here's my final question for you. What shocked you the most? Drop the fact number in the comments and tell me which story I should cover next. If you made it this far, you're a real one. Subscribe, hit that like button, and I'll see you in the next video.